let's say you go to a McDonald's in Arizona or McDonald's in Atlanta, the fries are cooked the same way, everything's done the exact same way. How do you go about actually utilizing this playbook and actually rolling it out to the team?
Yeah. So, I mean, what you mentioned, that fast food example, for me, I think back to the E Myth, which is one of the first books I read. And Michael E. Gerber, who wrote the E Myth, wrote the intro to my book, which was really cool. And in his book, he talked about how every company could have a franchise prototype, meaning like whether you want to franchise your business or not, if you were to franchise the company, what's that prototype, that operation that's just so fine tuned, it runs really well that you could scale to have more locations? And if you wanted to have more locations, you would need the operations manual, right? You would need a training manual of some kind to be able to hand to the operator of that next location. And so it was a big inspiration in creating Trainual was, now that you know you need to systematize, how do you actually get this done? And so we make it easy to do the work of documenting in the product. And we talked about like crowdsourcing it, getting a lot of people involved. But how do you actually roll it out to people? Well, the first thing is have a date, have a deadline of when you're going to roll out something. This can't be a task that just goes on forever. You have to set some kind of launch date for when you're going to put things out to the company. And I recommend doing it in phases. Like if you launch all of your company section and you get people bought in and aligned on your core values and on the company story, it's a really easy way for them to dip their toe in the water and say, okay, cool. Like I've heard that some of this stuff before, or maybe it's changed since I started, but now we're all speaking this common language. We're all coming from the same place. Then your people can help a lot with building out their own roles and responsibilities. That's something that you can crowdsource before you do a lot of the detailed process documentation work. So you get them invited and you bring them in and have everybody document their own responsibilities. What do they do every day, every week, every month, every year? What are the regular tasks on their plate? Get their managers involved to make sure that there's alignment on that. And then you start to cherry pick the things that you want to document for the business. And when everybody's participating in this and everyone understands why we're doing this as a company, you start to get a lot of buy-in and you build momentum of people wanting to contribute, of people wanting to get their completion score to 100%. There's a little bit of a gamification there. And then they want to keep it that way. And so over time, anything you put in Trainual that you need to roll out to people, it's just a couple of clicks. You say this goes to everybody, or it goes to this team, or it goes to this role. It assigns it to them. It alerts them on their phone, their watch, their email. And then they log in and they get back to 100%. And so that's really why the system is great. It's for that accountability of, I know I'm up to speed on how the company does what it does.
And I want to delve more into that in terms of the platform itself, just in terms of an online like software platform, because there's a lot of ways to do this. I think you've been really good in saying that, look, you could write out a bunch of documents and so on, but that seems incredibly messy. I mean, having it online means that it's accessible. You can search it. What are some of the other benefits?
Yeah, so having it on online, first you can put all different media formats into it. So unlike paper or just like a standard Google Doc or something, you can embed videos, you can embed slides, you can put files within files, you could put maps or Spotify playlists and Instagram feeds or whatever you want. You can make it like kind of rich content with animated GIFs and just some fun stuff. So that's one. Two, you've got that accountability element of being able to actually assign and track that all of my people have seen this stuff, that they've seen the latest version, that it's up to speed. It tracks like the date it's last been updated, and it'll prompt people to update the content if it's 90 days old or untouched after a certain amount of time. There's repeat trainings you can do. So if there's something that you want all of your people to go through every year or every 174 days or whatever, you set that up in the system and it prompts them on those intervals to come back in and learn that thing. And then, like you said, everything's searchable on the mobile app, iOS, Android, and it's easy to find what you're looking for. We just rolled out this new thing that it's a browser extension for Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge. Any website that you're on anywhere on the internet, you can attach a URL to the content in Trainual so that it shows you this little glowing dot on that page, and you can pop up your content, your SOPs, your training while you're on that page. So any other app that you use, if you need the reference at your fingertips, then we help you with that too.